Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is law of returns. Now what do you mean by law of returns? Law of returns, that means what return you are getting. What is the law regarding that? That is what we are going to study in this. Now return, that means output. Fine. Now output deals with what? Production. So first we will understand what actually production is. So production refers to the physical conversion of raw material into tangible goods. Tangible goods means the goods which we can touch, which we can see. Okay. So those are what? Tangible goods. So now whatever raw material is being converted into tangible goods, that is finished goods, that is production. Now why do we do production? What is the reason? Now we do production to create a utility in the product, that means for consumption. Fine. So what is the motive behind production? For consumption. Now consumption means what? Utility, that is satisfaction. So that is production is the process of creating utility. Fine. Now next is production function. You know very well what function actually is. Function means functional relationship between the factor inputs and the other whatever function we are studying. Now we are studying production function. So what is it? It is functional relationship between factor inputs and output in production function. Okay. So that is what we will check out in production function. Whatever we are factor inputting. Factor inputting means capital, land, labor, entrepreneur, everything. Fine. So for the process of production to get the output. Clear? Now a production function shows the maximum quantity of a commodity that can be produced per unit of time with the given amount of inputs when the best production technique available is used. Okay. So what actually production function is? It shows the maximum quantity. Okay. So that means to the max how much we can produce with the input, with the sources which are available. Okay. So whatever sources are available with us, with that whatever output we are getting, if we will study the relationship between that, that is production function. Okay. Now if we will study that in symbolical term. So what is production? That is CQ equals to F. F is what? Functional relationship with F1, F2, F3. That means different inputs which we are putting. So what we can say? We can say what inputs we are putting. We are putting labor, we are putting capital. L stands for labor. K stands for capital. Okay. Now when we study production function, we study in two cases. First is short run, second is long run. Short run, that means that is a short period of time. Okay. Now which the amount of some inputs called the fixed factor cannot be changed. Now in short run, what is the problem? To the short run refers to the period of time over which the amount of some inputs. Okay. Now here you have two types of inputs. One is fixed factor, another is variable factor. So that is what they say. You have some amount of inputs which are called fixed factor, which cannot be changed. Now fixed factors cannot be changed. It is fixed. Fine. Like land. If you have land, you cannot change. It is fixed. Fine. Now an increase in the output in short run can be brought about by increasing the variable inputs. Now do remember, when we will study in short run, okay, so if we check out the changes in the production, that means the output, so it will be due to change in variable factors. Now which are the variable factors in short run? Labor and raw material only. Am I clear? Now long run. Now long run is what? Is defined as the time period during which all the factors of production can be varied. Now long run, that means you have ample of time. Now when you have ample of time, that means every input is what? Variable. It can change. Okay. So that is what long run is. There is no fixed factor. All the factors are variable in that case. Am I clear? Now let's move on to the next topic, that is types of production function. Now how many types of production function we have? We have two types of production function. First is short run production function, then it is long run production function. Okay. Now in short run production function, a short run production function refers to a situation when only one input is variable and all other inputs are assumed to be constant. Constant, that is fixed factor. Okay. So only one input in the production process is variable. Fine. So short run production function is subject to the matter of law of variable proportion. So when we are discussing short run, that means what we are discussing? We are discussing law of variable proportion. Now what is variable? Variable means the unit which can change, vary. Okay. Now long run production function. Long run production function studies changes in output. Okay. Now you know in long run all the factors are variable. Fine. So that is what it studies. What actually it studies the output when all inputs used in production of a commodity are changed. That is, all factors are variable. So all the factors are changing now simultaneously. Now what will be the output? That means what actually you are getting the production. So now all the variables are changing in the same proportion and simultaneously, that is in this perfect period of time, that same period of time. Okay. Now long run production function is the subject matter of returns to scale. Now we'll study basic concepts. Now what do you mean by basic concepts? Basic concepts means those terms which you are going to come across in this chapter while studying the law. Now first is what? Total product. Now what do you mean by total product? Total product refers to the total quantity of a commodity produced during some period of time by combining a particular quantity of variable factors with fixed factors. It is also known as total returns. So when you combine variable factor plus fixed factor, then whatever process, that means whatever is the output, that is total returns. Okay. Now if you will calculate total product, what is the formula for that? That is sigma MP. Sigma MP, that means total of marginal product. You know what is marginal product? We have done marginal utility, right? So that is what? Same it is, only it is marginal product. Now what is marginal product? That means one unit of the production output. Okay. So when we will combine all the single unit of the production, in all together it will give you total product. As you have already understood about total product, now same you can check out in the diagram. See, this is first graph you can see is the graph for total product. Now you can see one line straight drawn from the origin towards upward, that is fixed cost. Okay. Now the TP, that is total product, is maximum where total fixed cost and the last unit of labor. Last unit means many labors are employed. Now this is the maximum labor, or you can say unit of labor which can be employed. Like it has started from 1, 2, 3, 4. Now suppose 4th is the unit where we touch the total product to the maximum. That means after this, if I will employ one more labor, my total product will go down. That means it will decrease. So this is the diagram of total product. Now next is average product. Now what is average product? Average product of a variable factor refers to the output per unit of a variable factor. Now this is an average product. Do remember, average product, that means the formula TP upon Q2. Now Q2 is what? Quantity of labor. So whatever unit of labor you are employing, okay, you will divide that unit with TP, that is total product. Okay, so once you will divide, suppose your total product is 20 and at 20 total product you have employed 4 unit of labor. So what will be your average product? 20 divided by 4. Your average product will be 5. Okay, now you can see in the diagram, this is the diagram of average product. Now average product and total product, approximately if you will see, the diagram is same, but the only difference is total product will rise more and average product will rise less. Do remember, both will be positive only. Fine. Now next is marginal product. Now what is marginal product? as you know, we have studied marginal units. Same it is marginal product. Okay. So marginal product is defined as the change in the total product resulting from one additional unit of a variable factor. That means one more labor is employed. Fine. Now what is the difference between the previous total product and current total product? So that difference is known as marginal product. Okay. I hope I am clear. Now we will understand the relationship between average product and marginal product. Fine. Now average product, we know what is it? It is sum total of total product upon unit of labor. Fine. Total unit of labor. So that is average product. Now marginal product. Marginal product means, you know, that is the additional unit. Now how these two curves react each other, that means how it resembles each other. Now we'll see when marginal product is greater than average product, this means that AP is rising. Okay. What we say, when marginal product is greater than average product. Fine. So what this means? This means that average product is rising. Fine. Now second, what is the second condition? When marginal product is equals to average product. What this means? This means that average product is constant. That means at this level, average product is to the max. Constant. Now it cannot reach beyond that. Okay. Now third condition. When marginal product is less than average product. Okay. Then what this means? This means that average product is falling. Okay. So as soon as my marginal product reduces compared to average product, that means my average product starts falling. Do remember, marginal product can be negative, average product cannot be negative. It is always positive. See, you can see the diagram very well. Here you can see in the graph, my average product is rising, equally my marginal product, but my marginal product is greater than average product, right? You can see in the diagram. Second condition, at one point they both are equal, that means they are meeting. Fine. Now this is the point where it is constant. Constant means after this my average product will not rise, it will start falling. But this is the point where marginal product will start reducing. Okay, that means start decreasing, will go down. So you can see that it is less than average product. That means average product is also reducing. Okay, but ultimately marginal product, it can be negative, but average product cannot be negative. Okay. Now we'll check out the relation between total product and marginal product. Now what is the relationship between total product and marginal product? When TP increases at an increasing rate, MP increases. See, we have two graphs. You can see one is total product, another is marginal product. You can see when TP is increasing, that is total product is increasing at an increasing rate. That means my marginal product is also increasing. Fine. Now what is the next case? When TP increases at a diminishing rate. Now what do you mean by diminishing rate? See, when my TP is increasing, suppose I have employed one labor. Okay, my product, my total output is 2. Okay, now if my TP, I employ second unit of labor. Okay, what is my total output? Previously it was 2, now it is 4. Fine. Now when I employ third, it goes to 6. See, it is rising in the same ratio. But when I employ fourth labor, okay, now what should be my total product? My total product should go 8? No, but my total product is 7 at this condition. Now that means it is rising. It has rose 1 unit, okay, but then it is not increasing in the same ratio. When it is increasing but not increasing in the same ratio, less than the ratio, that means it is increasing at a diminishing rate. So at that point you will see that marginal product is decreasing. Okay, that is marginal product decreases. Now next condition, when TP reaches its maximum, that is total product, when you can see total product in the graph, it is reached to the maximum. Now at that point when it is maximum, you can see marginal product is 0. Okay, this is a point of saturation. Fine. Now when TP begins to decline, now you can see my total product, it is reducing, it is declining. At that point when it is declining, my marginal product, what will happen? It will turn into negative. It will go negative. Why? Because my total product now, it is not adding. Okay, though I am adding more unit of labors, it is not giving me any fruits, rather it is consuming my fruits, my part of income also. Okay, so that is the condition when my marginal product, that means my per unit production, is negative. Am I clear?